9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Thursday, everybody. This is your PR princess, your timeless elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me, on this Thursday edition, because this is total nonstop Thursday. We have TNA iMPACT happening. It's hard to believe we're almost down to the wire of the Knockouts TV tournament, because we're almost down to the wire. And then they were 4. And obviously, of course, they're showing tapings from when it was in Philadelphia earlier this month. Actually, last month. I was very excited. I got to attend. I can't give you any spoilers, but it was really fun just being there and enjoying it. Ooh, and we're going to kick off with Ricky Sosa, because he's going to be taking on the Systems, Brian Myers. No, wait, he's taking on Eddie Edwards. Yes, I had to rethink, because I was like, wait. There's Ricky Sosa. And he's definitely one of the future people. Sosa. Bang, bang. Sosa. Bang, bang. Sosa. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty catchy to the beat, and also he backs it up too. So Casey Navarro is taking on Eddie Edwards, and Ricky Sosa is taking on the Systems, Brian Myers. I'm not gonna lie. So Jeff Metterling, it was on TNA iMPACT. This was taped in Philadelphia. These were part of the 2-night events that I went to a couple weeks ago, so they had to do a lot of taping before the live episode on Thursday, and then they did some taping the next day. So I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I will give you a quick rundown of the matches. Obviously, of course, we have Ricky Sosa taking on the Systems, Brian Myers, which accompanied by Bear Bronson. We're also going to see the Systems, Eddie Edwards take on Casey Navarro. We're also in the semifinals of the Knockouts TV tournament. Indi Hartwell taking on M by Elegance. And we have a 6-man tag team match after what's been said last week backstage. Mustafa Ali, Agent Zero, and John Skyler taking on Rich Swann, BDE, and a mystery partner of their choosing. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to figure it out. And also, we're going to hear the face of the franchise speech right before, which is also Moose, right before he faces off against Frankie Kazarian. He's going to be having a face of the franchise speech. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but when I was there, it was pretty hilarious. So you will be kind of laughing on your seat. And also, on our main event, we're going to have Nic Nemeth and Jeff Hardy one-on-one for the TNA World title. Well, it can't be Jason. Yeah, I don't want to give anybody spoilers. I don't want to give anybody spoilers. I want everybody to be surprised. So that's just me as a person. I don't like to give spoilers away, even when I went to taped episodes. I want everybody to feel surprised. But I will tell you, it's not Jason. It's not Jason Hotch. I will tell you that. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this match. Do you have Ricky Sosa or do you have Brian Myers? Feel free in the chat. Yeah, they didn't show a lot of the backstage segments that I was there last week. So I'm happy I get to see it on TV. Brian Myers obviously talking trash to Ricky Sosa, but Ricky Sosa has definitely been making his marks. I mean, I know he's been viral with the catchy theme song, but I'm happy he is backing up with the wrestling ability, and I do believe he has a future with TNA. I just hope they don't let him go. I really want to see him thrive, especially taking on like the X Division, the International Championship title. So I really do see Ricky Sosa as being the future of the X Division, especially with Mr. Leon Slater. Because Leon Slater won Cedric Alexander after their face-off last week. and Brian Myers got outside the ring. And also be very careful of Bear Bronson too, because Bear Bronson is somebody I would not want to mess with. I have heard his name float around in the indies. His wife Gabby Forza is officially now a TNA Knockout, which I'm very, very happy for her. And I did see in the opening they added her face onto the introduction package. So I'm very happy to see Gabby doing what she does best. Love it, love it, love it. But like I said, so Jeff Mitterling's picking Brian Myers. But feel free to put in the channel who you guys got. I think I'm going to pick Ricky Sosa. And I hope everybody has had a great week. This week has been a little bit nuts for me, but I'm happy that I got to do the watch on for AEW last night. A lot of people did not like the crowd audience. I heard some people did not like the reaction to the audience, which really kind of sucks. But I mean, I know some people did not like it. I could tell some people did not think that was a good show or not up to their standards, but it was a solid show. I mean, there was some stuff that I enjoyed on Dynamite last night, but you can't please everybody. You just can't please everyone. I mean, there was some stuff I was scratching my head on, but ooh, so how would I start off? And also, I'm following Ring of Honor because, I'm not gonna lie, Ring of Honor's got some good stuff. So it's Maya World, High and Thunder Rosa taking on Sky Blue, Marina Shafir, and Hikaru Shida. I'm not gonna lie, they got some pretty good action on the card, and this was when they were in Mexico. Let me see. Yeah, they had Leo Rush taking on El Clone for the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. Obviously, you're going to deal with that bald-headed creep Don Callis. They have Kevin Knight taking on, I think it's from CMLL, and I hope I say this right, Tai Tian, that's his name. And also we have Commander taking on Soberano Jr., I would say. And Kyle Fletcher taking on Mascara Dorada. So it looks like a pretty good solid card, which I wish they posted on YouTube. That's one thing I wish. I wish they did post it on YouTube. Because Ring of Honor does have some good stuff on there. And obviously, of course, they're getting ready for next Friday because they'll be at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. Because it's definitely shaping up to be a good card. Ricky Sosa is definitely building a lot of momentum in this match. Oh, you gotta watch out for Bear. Oh, Ricky Sosa kicked Bear Bronson. Like I said, the system's been terrorizing everyone in the TNA X division, from Leon Slater, Casey Navarro, Ricky Sosa, Fabian Agner. Well, Jeff Metterling, I'm happy you enjoyed it because there were some I did enjoy it. Yeah, it's just been very busy for me, but I'm happy to be able to do coverage with all of you. And I know WWT Live because I think Monday was the only show. I know yesterday I can't do. Ooh, quick kick out by Brian Myers. Yes, so far it's shaping up to be a really good show. It's shaping up. Oh, and here comes Cedric Alexander sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. And I'm pretty sure King of Queens. What's up, Jeffrey? You're binge watching on some TV shows. That's great. Happy you guys are in the chat. Jeff Metterling, I will probably know a few days prior because I know Boss Lady put in a request for me to do media for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. So we just have to wait and see. And Brian Myers, he's used to the X Division, but here comes Leon Slater. I'm going to say this, whoever does his outfits, he got some good outfits. He got some really good outfits. 3, and your winner is Ricky Sosa. Ricky Sosa got the victory, even though Cedric Alexander tried to interfere, but he got some help from Leon Slater. And that's good for Ricky Sosa. I'm happy he's building momentum up for the win. Sosa. It kind of catchy once you get used to it. Because at first I didn't get it, but I think since he's been on TNA and started to get some momentum, it's like you're starting to feel it. Oh my goodness. Yep, Jeffrey. Big. Oh, and we're gonna hear from Leon Slater. Oh, and he's bringing up the challenge that he brought up because he wants to challenge Cedric Alexander for the X Division title at Lockdown. I think everybody wants to see Cedric Alexander get his butt kicked. Ooh, interesting words to say. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, the people you follow on Twitter's in the front row. Yeah, you should see some people in the front row, and it's crazy because I'll wait till it's in it because I'm gonna hear what Leon has to say. So Leon's putting the challenge. So he really wants to get rid of Leon Slater. Yeah, unfortunately, I sat there and I watched it live. I was a little bit confused on it because I don't know who the heck. I know who's. I know who is running creative and booking, but I'm trying to think who the heck made up this idea. And folks, just to be fair, I wouldn't say they're stupid. It's just sometimes you hire some people that are very incompetent. I wouldn't say stupid. Well, we're just waiting on it to be official. But, ooh. All right, so we have Gia backstage with Rich Swann and BDE. Yeah, because after what happened last week in that backstage segment. Yeah, it's funny they said everyone except Jason. Rich Swann has so much energy. Well, they did say they can pick anybody except Jason Hodge. So I'm very excited. And also feel free. Do you guys have any guesses on who you think is the mystery partner for Rich Swann and BDE? Anybody? Because that is tonight. And obviously for Lockdown, that's the main event, probably. The TNA World Tag Team titles, the Hardys and the Nemeths. I feel like TNA needs more tag teams. They need more tag teams in their tag division. No, Boza, you're not being rude. It's just very interesting. It's just a head scratcher of stipulation. But we're gonna hear from the face of the franchise speech with Moose right before his match against Frankie Kazarian. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it was pretty funny when I watched it live in person. Still, I know, Jeffrey, you can't believe BDE is wrestling in TNA. Yeah, I just think TNA needs to build more on their tag teams because outside of like the Hardys, the Nemeths, the System, the Righteous, you just need more tag teams to help out with their tag team division. I mean, the Hardys can only do as much as they can, but I do think they need to add like more tag teams to the fray, which would be very interesting. And plus, outside of like the X division and the knockouts, TNA had a pretty good solid tag team division because they had America's Most Wanted, then it was Beer Money, Team Canada, Motor City Machine Guns. I know they had so many good tag teams. Shout out to J Duck Blaster 1474. Happy to have you on for the watch along for TNA Impact because you're hanging with me, your PR princess, your timeless elite, Courtney, with you tonight. And also make sure my siblings are doing kayfabe podcast right now. So they're doing kayfabe right now because I was on it for a little bit before I hopped on here, and they were actually talking about Raw and what happened, especially with Solo. And now they're talking about Zilla on NXT. Ah, yeah, Jeffrey, the catchphrase of that's funny. Oh my god. Oh yeah, Christopher Daniels. That was a good tag team because I know TNA had so many good tag teams. Yeah, Beer Money had a very good um they had a very good interesting introduction. But yeah, they had some really good tag teams. Oh yeah, Aces and Eights. You had the main event Mafia, Immortal, Fortune. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it usually is. But yeah, 2004, 2005, like I know, Jeff Metterling. That's the one thing I learned since I've been doing this watch along. TNA has so many commercials, especially with AMC. Oh yeah, Bobby on his assistant Tracy. Tracy. Yeah, they did. And speaking of Tessa Blanchard, because I know everybody thinks like, oh, she needs to be signed with AEW. Apparently, there's been a lot of talks that her and MLW are in talks. That'll be interesting if she goes to MLW because she is a hot free agent right now. Even though I do have some issues with what she said previously that I don't agree with, but that's just me. But yeah, MLW and Tessa Blanchard looks like they're in talks. We don't know what's going to happen, but we shall see. No, I don't think. No, I don't think with MLW. AEW has a partnership with no, AEW has a partnership with CMLL, not about MLW. I know MLW is now starting their partnership with Stardom. Oh, and we're switching gears with AJ Francis. AJ Francis doing his freestyles in the studio. What's happening with the studio? Oh, Elijah! Oh, Elijah. He's controlling the studio. Did he just say Elias by accident? AJ Francis looks like scared. He's locked out of the studio. He crashes the studio. Now the door is unlocked. Oh my goodness. So there's Elijah. Oh, walk with Elijah. That is hilarious. So there's going to be a match between Elijah and AJ Francis. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. How do you lock? Ooh, so J Duck Blaster 1474 said, "Who would you add to revamp the TNA Knockout division?" That's an interesting question because I wouldn't say it's more about like adding. I mean, obviously you want to add like people to help it, but then it's like you kind of have to work with the roster that you have on who do you think should level up and take the lead on leading the Knockouts division, as you said with Jordan Grace when she carried her back. I mean, obviously Tessa Blanchard. So I think, and I'm going to say this many times, I would like to see Zaya Brookside take the lead. I definitely would love to see Zaya. And well, here's Moose. He doing the face of the fridge. This was so funny when I saw it live in person. That's a nice segment. Face of the franchise. You do look Moose. Moose. No, Jeff Metterling, I wasn't a guest on Moose's talk show, but it was really hilarious because I got to watch it, sit down and watch it live. It was really funny. Moose. 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 Oh, looky. Frankie Kazarian. He's not too happy. Well, here's Frankie. Let's hear what he has to say. Who has one of the biggest spears? Moose. King. They said Moose, this is a real king of TNA. They've all said Moose. It's unanimous, Frankie. Who looks like Jeffrey, who looks like a spoiled banana Kazarian. That is pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Gee, I will say this: Philadelphia was really booing Frankie Kazarian that night when I was there. They were booing him. Moose said, "Never insult my guest." Oh, he smacked him in the face. He backs. Oh man, Moose smacked Frankie in the face. Well, he does have a big fat mouth. You know, it's funny. He talks about other people's marriages. I really want to see somebody talk a lot of smack about his marriage because he's married to Tracy Brooks, who is original TNA knockout, by the way. I think Tracy would probably get a kick out of it. But yeah, this brawl ended out very. It got very physical, and it's gonna get a little bit personal heading into lockdown. So, two of these guys locked in the steel cage. There's nowhere to run. There is nowhere to hide. And by the way, there will slap the taste. Yeah, he slapped the taste out of his mouth. Oh man, security had to hold them both. Well, and by the way, there will be a watch along for TNA Lockdown. I will be doing a watch along for TNA Lockdown. And I can't believe it is next Sunday. Next Sunday. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide for Frankie Kazarian. But I did tell you it was a good segment because I did enjoy it and I loved it. I enjoyed it. But obviously our main event is going to be the TNA World title. Nic Nemeth taking on Jeff Hardy. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but fasten your seatbelts and get your popcorn ready because this is the match that you want to sit through. And obviously tonight we have Eddie Edwards along with his wife, Elisa Edwards, taking on Casey Navarro. We're going to have the Knockouts TV tournament. This is one of the semifinals match. We have M by Elegance taking on Indi Hartwell. But up next is the 6-man tag team match. Mustafa Ali, Agent Zero, John Skyler taking on Rich Swann, BDE, and a partner of their choosing. Who's it gonna be? I have no idea. Well, Boza, you're gonna have to really be surprised at this. So you're gonna be very surprised at this, but we shall see on that. And since it is 9:30 and AMC is known for their commercials, we're gonna take a quick break and we're going to talk to you about the Women's Wrestling Archive. It is an initiative that we have in our WWT where it talks about the past, the present, and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
I can see why AMC has a lot of commercials, but I'm happy to be back. And shout out to Honey in the chat. Make sure you guys talk about kayfabe because I know they're talking about an important segment on here where they're talking about Dark Side of the Ring. And even when you look at these stories, it's very sad because some of them don't have health care, they don't have pensions, they don't have anything else. And if we could have had a union if it wasn't for goddamn Hulk Hogan, I don't want to disrespect the dead, but I'm just saying, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, we could have got one. Jesse the Body Ventura had an idea. And if you're not going to do a union, like if you're planning to do a union, you got to include Jesse the Body Ventura. I mean, at least I would like for him to start it before he passes. I don't want it to start up after he's dead. I mean, at least do it with Jesse the Body Ventura is alive. And I know AEW, they do like a tuition reimbursement program. So if you want to go to school, they'll pay for you to go to school. Like they'll pay for it. So that's like one of the things that a lot of people don't know when it comes to like AEW and everything else. They pay. Ooh, and we're gonna hear from the Hardys. So they showed it from last week with the Hardys, the GOATs of tag team wrestling. I mean, hey, they are the GOATs. You can't deny that. I mean, they've done it all. But of course, we gotta deal with those pretty boy punks, the Nemeths. And also, after Lockdown, I think we need to build some challengers for Nic Nemeth. We need to start building him some challengers. I mean, Moose was already champion. I wouldn't mind seeing Frankie be champion again. It just needs to be a reasonable storyline. Oh yeah, they showed what happened a couple weeks ago. Wow, that's crazy. This month will be 10 years since Kevin Owens won a title. Oh yeah, and I'm looking on kayfabe because they're talking about what happened at SummerSlam 1997. You guys know what happened at SummerSlam 1997. Austin, Owen Hart, and Austin had to get neck surgery. That was an interesting SummerSlam. And also they're showing what happened with the contract signing last week. So they're trying to build up this match because Jeff Hardy is a former multi-time TNA World Champion. And I don't think Nic Nemeth has ever beaten Jeff Hardy since he's been there. Since they've been at TNA. I don't think Nic Nemeth has ever pinned Jeff Hardy. So happy to see Jeff on TV. Always love to see I just love seeing the Hardys on TV. Doesn't matter which one, I'm just happy to see them on TV. Alright, so we have a 6-man tag team match. Here comes Order 4. Well, the remaining members of Order 4. Alright, so let's see. A 6-match was made for Death Before Dishonor on Social. Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships on the line. That is the Outrunners. That is the Outrunners and Dalton Castle taking on the Demand. Well, after what happened last night, I will say it's been interesting seeing the Trios division get some spotlight. And also, I don't know if you saw what happened on Collision last weekend. It looks like Shane Taylor Promotions and the Hurt Syndicate are dealing with business. Not sure what kind of business is that, but is it so? Jeff, it is an iconic name in wrestling. Jeff is an iconic name, but if you saw have it on Collision, Shane Taylor Promotions and the Hurt Syndicate are doing business. What kind of business they're going to do, I have no idea. But I'm very intrigued and fascinated by it because the Hurt Syndicate want to make money and hurt people. Yeah, because I'm like thinking like, wait, is it the Demand or is it... Oh, the Lethal Twist. Okay, I was going to say, because I was like, wait a minute. I was like, is the Demand facing off? Oh, Jeff Minnerlin, be nice. There's some talented people on Order 4. Don't get started with Jeffrey because he loves Tasha Steelz. He loves Tasha Steelz. But here comes Rich Swann and BDE. Tasha, please get out of the group. Don't worry, Jeffrey. That time is coming because I think after she got that point, because she does have a soft spot for Jason, I think she's going to get out sooner than you think. So who is their mystery partner? Who's their mystery partner? Let's watch it together. Trey Miguel. He's back. Trey Miguel is back. I will say, when I was there live, people were going for Trey. They were going crazy for Trey Miguel. Like, even I had kids in back of me that just loved Trey Miguel. Yeah, and that was when he got injured. Yep, he was on the show. He is. Like, even when the kids. Oh, no, Jeff Metterling. Let me rephrase that. So Trey Miguel was supposed to join TNA with the Rascals, but unfortunately, Warner Brothers did not want to do that because of some stuff he said on his socials from a few years ago. And that's why he's back in TNA. Yeah, there was a lot of mishap with that as well. So, yeah. So he's back on TNA. Yep, standards and practices. He wasn't technically in AEW, but he was supposed to be signed. But yeah, Warner Brothers executives did not want it. It was internal struggle. But we have a 6-man tag team match. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got. Do you have Order 4? Or do you have Rich Swann, Trey Miguel, and BDE? I will say this one. Let's just say he said some things about. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even gonna go. We're not even gonna go there. But he said some interesting things. I will say this: when I was there live, sitting there, it was really fun seeing Trey Miguel there. The fans were going crazy. Yes, unfortunately, Trey Miguel couldn't be with his bros, the Rascals. But, I mean, he's with a company that he's familiar with, and hopefully he can really help getting them to that next level, because I feel like Trey can be a really important player in TNA. I'm not going to lie, Rich Swann, BDE, and Trey are a really good combination. I'm not going to lie. They're really fun. Even, like I said, when I was there live, sitting there, people were going nuts for Trey. Like, I had kids in back of me that were screaming for Trey Miguel. And yes, Jeffrey, the Rascals theme is a banger. I'm not going to lie. It really is a banger when you get on your feet. Yeah, look at BDE. He got some dance moves in him. He's been hanging around with Swann a little too long. But, oh, and obviously, of course, we have another commercial break. Just when the match was getting so good. It's like commercials are there. But you are hanging out with me on Total Nonstop Thursday. Hanging out with me, your PR princess, your timeless elite, whatever you want to call me, on this edition of TNA iMPACT Weekly. Also with the fact too, my siblings have the Kayfabe podcast over there, so you can feel free to hang out with both of us because we are doing a lot of stuff. Also, they are talking about SummerSlam 1997, especially we all know that infamous moment that happened. I know earlier they did talk about watching King of the Ring, Dark Side of the Ring. I feel like I need to do a deep dive on that because it sucks. And I would love to get a hold of Jesse the Body Ventura because he had an idea for a union. And I just think there should be some equality. Because you always listen to all the stuff that happened back in the day. And even to this day, some of it has not been resolved. So, and when I talked about even what Denise was going through yesterday with women not being treated great in the space of wrestling, we're going to keep going because there are some good people that are doing great work, and you have to leave it better than you found it. So it's not going to be easy. It ain't going to be pretty. There's still a lot of work to do, but we just have to keep pushing. And I love this little thing that we did. They don't need Jeffrey, that part as well. I don't think it's more releasing. It's just how about getting more revenue in your space? Getting more revenue would be the quick, easy thing. Get more revenue so you can make long-term contracts. Because I don't know what's the situation they have internally, TNA and Anthem, because I know there's been a lot of struggles in the past, but let's leave it better than we found it. And same thing with AEW. You need to showcase some more women's matches on your main flagship show. Not Collision, your main flagship show, Dynamite. I'm watching AMC and all these commercials, and they're showing all these commercials about animals. And it's hard because I have animals too, and I'm like, I just don't like to see a sad animal. I don't like to see these ASPCA commercials because it just breaks your heart. Oh yeah. Hey, Jeffrey, I got something better. If you get rid of Frankie Kazarian, who's been there for God knows how long, that's a little bit concerning. Let's just go there. Frankie also. Exactly. Like, Frankie's been an OG for TNA since day one. And also with the fact, too, that's why I said with the Hardys, I think they're going to retire in TNA than they are in WWE. Because with the fact, with everything WWE's going through, and also TNA's giving them the one thing that WWE couldn't do is creative freedom. And also, I would like for the Hardys to end on their own terms. And especially if they do go back to WWE, it's like, you're not going to give them much creative control. It's going to be either WWE or is it going to be a TKO decision? And I would not be shocked if someone from TKO did not know who the Hardys were. Because that would be crazy. And Jeffrey, you're right, Eric Young, he's gone too. So it's going to be interesting. But that's the thing with TNA. They need to create more higher revenue to keep your stars. Consistent revenue. Oh, they're showing a commercial of a spinoff from The Walking Dead. Walking Dead, Dead City. Because as I mentioned, we did have 2 stars from The Walking Dead. That kid did come to Philly when I was there. And we're back with TNA Impact. We have an 8-man tag team match. We have Order 4. Agent Zero. Well, actually, a 6-man tag team match. I don't know why I say 8-man. 6-man tag team match. We have Mustafa Ali. Agent Zero. Crap, and I forgot the other guy's name. I really did. I know his name is Skyler. They are taking on Rich Swann, BDE, and the returning Trey Miguel. Because Trey Miguel did have his issues with Mustafa Ali. And in the corner, you have Mila Moore and Tasha Steelz. Tag is made to Trey Miguel. He did get a really good reception when I was there. He got a very, very, very good reception. I was very happy. And I'm not going to lie, his theme song really is a banger. It's like if you sit live and you listen to it, it's not that bad. That's athleticism from Mustafa Ali. Quick kick out by Trey. You see how far? Yeah, I did see how far Tasha is. Oh, John Skyler is the name. Because it was dawning on me. Because I'm like, wait. Rich Swann? Ooh. Agent Zero. There's a reason why he's called Agent Zero. Oh, man. Agent Zero put a nasty headbutt on the BDE, but he tried to get up. Double choke slam. Ooh, that was a nasty, nasty hit. Here comes Trey. That was a nice DDT he did. to go in their corner. I know, right? 3, that's it. And your winners, Trey Miguel, BDE, and Rich Swann. Yep, Trey is cooking. I'm not going to lie. Welcome back, Trey Miguel, from your injury. And I think he's going to really do well on the TNA roster. Yep, Jeffrey, if you see the look on Tasha's face, she's a person I would not want to mess with. Oh, Lordy, here comes Agent Zero. Agent Zero. Take it out, Trey. I mean, they did win the match. Mustafa Ali's just acting like a sore loser. He wants to destroy Trey Miguel. He wants to destroy him. Because BDE and Rich Swann, they've been taken out. She's not. Oh, trust me, Jeffrey, we know. Well, here comes Jason Hotch, who is Mustafa Ali going to be at Lockdown. Jason, I think, it's funny. Out of all the storylines that have been fascinating so far in TNA, this has been the most fascinating one, Jason Hotch and Mustafa Ali. Because there's so much personal stuff that they had. That's what makes it more unique. And everybody in the TNA locker room picked Jason Hotch to be in the TNA International Championship match. Because Mustafa Ali said the people pick, and they picked Jason Hotch. It's hard to believe we're almost at 10 o'clock. It's like almost the final hour. I feel like TNA just goes by super quick, and it's really, really fun. I always enjoy these Thursdays because they're very cooling. They're relaxing. I know with AEW, there's just so much chaos. It's like I can't even keep up with it. It's like, what's going on? But I try to keep up with it. The TNA is just really cool. Oh, and here's the backstage segment with Zaya Brookside. She is the TNA Knockouts World Champion. Trying to get out of her makeup. Because I did see this backstage segment when I was there. And it's time for the injury report on what happens today. Let's see. Injury report. What do we have here for the injury report? So Jason Hotch, he is cleared. As we mentioned, Trey Miguel, he is cleared after suffering an injury. Because last time we saw him was TNA Rebellion. He's cleared. Happy to see Trey back. I think he's going to do really, really great on amping up that TNA roster. And I'm excited. Oh, Lordy, another Nic Nemeth segment. I'm pretty sure he says, I'm 100% ready to go and spiff as ever. Oh, boy. Well, right before his match, we're going to see Big Brother Nick take on Baby Brother Jeff. It's going to be very interesting in that match. I'm looking forward. I can't tell you what happened, but like I said, get your popcorn ready, get soda, get everything ready, because it's going to be butts and seats for the match. I will tell you this. But also tonight, we have the Systems, Eddie Edwards taking on Casey Navarro a little bit later. But we have some Knockouts TV tournament action. We have Indi Hartwell taking on M by Elegance. We're down to the final 4. One of these ladies is going to the finals. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And I'm checking to see what my siblings are doing in a kayfabe podcast. Because I'm always curious on what subjects they're going to talk about. Oh, they're still talking about SummerSlam 1997. It's always interesting. These are really great. Somebody tells me it's Indi. Well, we shall see. Yeah. It's one of those things, but yes, 29 years. I'm happy they are putting some history. Oh, so it looks like we got some news regarding AEW Collision. So since St. Taylor Promotions, as I mentioned, they talked with the Hurt Syndicate last week, they have entered into a business relationship with the Hurt Syndicate. So Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Shane Taylor, and Lee Moriarty are going to team up this weekend. Oh man. So it's gonna be very interesting. Like I said, it's gonna be interesting seeing the partnership between Shane Taylor Promotions and the Hurt Syndicate, because what do they have planned? Jeff Mitterling. If you're talking about Mr. Elegance, I'm pretty sure you will see Mr. Elegance, and I'm pretty sure you'll see the concierge. I will say he had a very interesting reception when he came out live. It was very fascinating, but yeah. But I hope everybody is ready for the weekend. This weekend, and it's nice because, we have SmackDown tomorrow, and obviously probably some AAA this weekend, but it's going to be a very nice and cool weekend because the next 2 weekends are going to be a little bit crazy, because obviously next Sunday is TNA Lockdown, and then the week after that, we have AEW All in London, NXT Heatwave. But yeah, it's going to be fun to close out the summer. And as we get ready for September in the fall, I'm very excited. And also, of course, getting a lot of good stuff happening in the WWT land of the world. Obviously, of course, there will be a watch along for TNA Lockdown. There will be a watch along, even though I won't be going to London, England, unfortunately. There will be a watch along for AEW All In, because you'll hang with me, because we're taking you to Wembley Stadium. And is the UK boy going to achieve the dream of being AEW World Champion? I've been saying this since last year. Will Ospreay is going to be AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And I will be sitting there with a grin on my face, screaming for joy. But it's hard to believe, like, we're almost at All In, because we were talking about this last year. Oh, but they're back in the segment with Xia Brookside. Apparently, Xia doesn't like her makeup. Ooh. Look at her makeup. I guess she's not a fan of glitter or like dark stuff. Elena Black did her makeup. You can tell these two ladies are going to go at it. And I have a feeling they're going to have a match at Lockdown. Let these ladies go at it. Just let them fight. Let them fight. The eyeshadow's not in for Xia, but let these ladies fight. Just let them fight backstage. Oof. I guess Xia wasn't too pleased. And it's funny, the guys were right there and they didn't even help Elena out backstage. Really? But we're getting ready for the TNA Knockouts TV tournament because we are one step closer on getting the inaugural Knockout TV champion. And look at Mackenzie Mitchell because she looks fabulous. She actually looks very fabulous. And I'm very happy I had the chance to meet her. She is super sweet and very nice. Well, not too to impact, but hopefully it'll help out with the brand. So here comes M by Elegance with Mr. Elegance, Heather by Elegance, and the concierge. Oh boy. Well, let's see. Yes, Mackenzie does look flowery. She looks fabulous every week, and I'm really happy that I had the pleasure to meet her live. She is very sweet, very nice. The concierge. And he's still blind, by the way, too, after getting that miss from Rosemary. And as I mentioned, the Elegance brand will be facing off against Demon Bunny for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. Hopefully we do see Rosemary because she's been MIA. But we're just waiting on Indi Hartwell. Mr. Elegance, can you dip it, baby oil? Well, there's Indi Hartwell because she wants to be Knockouts TV champion. She wants to be an inaugural Knockouts TV champion. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this. Do you see M by Elegance or do you see Indi Hartwell? So feel free to put it out in the chat. And of course, M by Elegance doing what she does best, not being a sport about it, but I think Indi Hartwell's not taking any challenges. But here we go. These ladies are out, go at it because one of these ladies is heading into the finals. They're heading to the finals, and they'll be facing off against the winner of Heather by Elegance taking on Jada Stone. Speaking of Indi, her is being interviewed by This Week. Really? Oh, Dexter. Dexter's Loomis. Jeffrey. If you know the reference from NXT, you kind of know. So. But I love that they're showing like all the events that TNA is going to. They're going to be in Canada in November. It's going to be very awesome. That's hilarious, Jeffrey. If you know the TNA reference, you kind of know Dexter Loomis. That's funny. And also make sure to check out Chris Van Vliet's interview because today he dropped an interview where he interviewed the Amazing Red. Definitely check that out. He's been doing a lot of interviews these last couple weeks, and I'm very happy I had the chance to meet him. But he's a very cool person. But make sure to check out his interview with the Amazing Red. And I know next Friday, because he's been wanting this interview for quite some time, if you are in Toronto next Friday, he's going to be doing a live sit-down interview with Trish Stratus. So, right before SmackDown. So make sure, I think it's either before or after SmackDown, but definitely make sure to check it out. It's live. I mean, they're going to do a sit-down Q&A. Chris has been wanting to do this because when I was talking with him, he said he never had the chance to interview Trish Stratus. But the dream has finally been achieved. He gets to interview Trish Stratus from Toronto, Canada. Both Canadians, by the way. So you'll be hearing a lot of Canadian references. But M by Elegance and Indi Hartwell. I know some people are picking Indi. But don't sleep on M by Elegance because she trained at Seth Rollins' wrestling school, by the way. Because I did see Seth Rollins' wrestling school posted about her on social. So acknowledging her, especially the work that she's put in, especially in this Knockouts TV tournament. So we shall see on that. It's a possibility, Jeffrey, she may pop. Because I think, because SmackDown's going to be in Toronto next week. So we might get a dose of 100%. 100% Stratisfaction coming in next week. Yeah, look at that. Look at the suplex she did to Indi. Yes, she did. As I mentioned, Matt, and by Elegance trained at Seth Rollins Wrestling School. So she is somebody I would not want to mess with. Obviously, of course, we know Indi's journey on getting into wrestling. And make sure to check out the interview I did with Indi Hartwell at WrestleCon last summer. It was so fun. I actually will say, I have been enjoying this tournament so far. It's been a very fun tournament. I'm very happy to see. I think even when the tournament's over, I think we are going to continue doing TNA watch-alongs because even though with everything TNA's been going through, they deserve some coverage. We got to give them some love. And plus with the fact too, we are trying to see if we can get interviews further from their knockouts division because obviously, of course, women's wrestling talk. So it's only fair to interview some of their knockouts. Obviously, of course, leading into Lockdown next week. But also, like, getting interviewed with any knockout. But obviously, of course, we are trying. We're going to try to see if we can get Xia Brookside on here because she's the reigning TNA Knockouts World Champion. And I don't think she hasn't done much interviews lately. So I think it's time to put a shine on her. Bosa, I think it would be so far me doing watch-alongs for TNA so far. But it has been really fun. I'm really happy that I got to do it. It's just been really fun doing these watch-alongs and hanging out with all of you. Because I know Wednesdays, I handle Timeless Elite Wednesdays over in AEW because they got some stuff going on. But it's nice for TNA and just show them equal amount of love. Oh yeah, they got a lot of cool knockouts division. I just wish they were interviewed a lot more. I wish they were giving equal amount of media opportunities because same thing with Xia because I can't even recall the last time. I mean, she did get an interview recently, but I would love to see her do a lot more media stuff. Quick kick out by M by Elegance. Oh yeah, Bosa. We're definitely going to continue doing watch-alongs for TNA. We're definitely going to continue that. Obviously, of course, because this has just been fun so far. Because at first, when we started doing this, Jeffrey, we will. It's going to take some time. We have a list of people we want to interview. Like me, I want to interview the Brawling Birds. I want to interview my ladies. Obviously, of course, I want to interview Toni Storm, but I want to interview the Brawling Birds right before All In. But definitely we will get Maya World. I think Maya World's going to be doing a lot. I'm just surprised she's not doing a lot of interviews lately. Quick kick out by M by Elegance. We will get to her eventually. I'm pretty sure if we get to Mercedes Monet, I'm pretty sure her fan club would love nothing more than to interview Mercedes. Yeah, that is true. Like, a lot of grief. And all right, Jeffrey, we can do Megan Bain. Oh, look at this! Xia Brookside and Elena Black are still fighting. They are still fighting. Fight. Let these ladies fight. Yeah, they're definitely going to have a match at Lockdown. It is so going to happen. She costs a fortune. Well, she ain't cheap. She ain't cheap. Mercedes is not cheap. Ooh, that was a nice move by M by Elegance. 3, and your winner is M by Elegance. She advances to the finals. And who is she going to face? Is she going to face her tag team partner, Heather by Elegance? Or will it be Jada Stone? Fascinating questions. I wouldn't say more of an upset. well, I think a lot of people say Indi, but I wouldn't say it's not more of an upset, really. But woo, we had some cat fights. I know. Yeah, but so there would be so much argument, like, who would interview Mercedes? All right, so we have the updated bracket. We have M by Elegance heading to the finals. Now she's going to face either Heather by Elegance or Jada Stone. Who's it going to be? And we know Jeffrey's going for Jada Stone. I mean, I wouldn't mind going for her because I feel like she has to be a person. And oh my goodness, the concierge, the personal concierge. Okay, so they're showing from October. Oh, Harley Hudson, because of the whole situation. Oh yeah, from last year, from 2023 with Harley. Talking about her journey and how she got into TNA. Oh, there's Joe Hendry! Look at Joe Hendry. And then Scott D'Amore. Jeff Metterling, the personal concierge, is blind because of the mist by Rosemary a couple weeks ago. Yeah, because apparently Daria Ray wants to fire Harley Hudson. I do love Harley Hudson. I feel like she could be a good factor in with the knockouts. And I'm just like so excited that Gabby Forza is the newest knockout. Now, if we can only get Vicky to sign with TNA, that would be the icing on the cake. If we could get Vicky. Yes, she does. She knows how to wear pink. She knows how to wear pink. Yes, the Scottish accent is strong. You can hear the accent in her, and I love it. She's so energetic. And like I said, pink is definitely her color. And she will be taking on Elisa Edwards. That's Jeffrey's other favorite person, Elisa Edwards from the system. And it looks like they're going to be facing off next week. Yep, it'll be next week. Yep, those ladies will be going at it next week on TNA Impact. Obviously, of course, our main event, Nic Nemeth, Jeff for the TNA World title. But up next, since we were talking about Elisa Edwards, her husband, Eddie Edwards, will be facing off against Casey Navarro next. So we've been seeing a lot of the system. She's from England, Liverpool. Yeah, that's all good, Jeffrey. A lot of people always have a hard time between Scottish and English people, but that's okay. But yeah, I actually do like some people from the UK are making a splash onto American mainstream wrestling. I know it's always been difficult. And I think this is probably when Vince was there, because I don't know why he doesn't see like people from the UK or whatever be world champion. That was crazy. But I feel like if you give them the tools, I feel like they can be potential champions. Like I said, Zaya Brookside is the first woman from the UK to be TNA Knockouts World Champion, and I love it. Oh, yeah. So today is the anniversary of Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I just can't believe it's been that long. And also, by the way, too, because I know they were talking about SummerSlam 1997, but unfortunately, there was some news that I got hit with today. And if you're familiar, sorry, I'm just seeing my siblings on there. I need to watch kayfabe tomorrow because they always have so much fun on there, and I love that they're making their own thing. They're almost at 100 episodes. They're halfway up to 100, which is insanity. So I'm happy that Honey, Deanna, Will are definitely creating a space for kayfabe. I will say this, even though they don't talk about AEW, they are doing great work. They have talked about it a few times on AEW, but I'm happy they do support. Obviously WWE is like the chunk of it, but at least, they bring up not just WWE, but also TNA. I would say he's whining right now, but I think he was earlier when it was due to Cody earlier. But, and I know some people, like I said, not everybody's a fan of AEW, that's fine. But there is some good stuff over in AEW. There is some good stuff there. I mean, I do a watch. That's where they need you. Jeffrey, honestly, Jeffrey, I wish. But before this, my Thursdays were free. But since I'm doing watch alongs for TNA, that's kind of like, because I'm doing watch alongs for TNA. Because I remember when we first started doing this, like this mini series for the Knockouts TV title, I really had low expectations for this because I wasn't sure what traction we were going to get, but we've been getting a lot of good traction the last couple of weeks since we've been doing TNA. We've been talking about them. I know the one week I missed was when I was in Philly, obviously, because I was going to pass up on a live show near me because that's crazy talk. But, we have been getting a lot of traction since we've been doing these watch alongs for TNA. You guys have been very active in the chat. I love it. I love the activeness. I love everything that you guys are just really commenting away and just loving everything and trashing Frankie Kazarian and the Nemeths and all that good stuff. It's just been fun to watch. Yeah, I think a lot of us, since myself and Honey and Will and Said, and even Cash too, because Cash is definitely doing NXT, and even Professor too. Professor, he's doing his own thing. They're doing the faction on Saturday. Someone attacked Moose. I think I know who it is. I would say Frankie, but that's too easy. Because I feel like Frankie had to get somebody to attack him. I would say Frankie, but that's too easy to pin. He's like too easy. 10-1 is Frankie. Hey, it's a possibility. And look, we get to see the system again. You can't beat the system. All right, so we have Eddie Edwards and his wife, Jeffrey's favorite person, Elisa Edwards. That's his favorite person. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But there she is. Don't worry, Jeff Betterling. We know Moose is your favorite. I highly doubt it was Frankie. But here we go. Eddie Edwards taking on Casey Navarro. I will say I do like Elisa's Edwards outfits that she has. I did like some of the outfits that she had in Philly, which is really nice. Her catchphrase is LOL. That's the only thing you like about her is her catchphrase. And I will say she can take some bumps. She's a tough cookie. She's another woman I would not want to mess with. I know exactly. Like Frankie, it's too easy to pin on Frankie. It has to be somebody. Or Frankie paid someone to do it. But here comes Casey Navarro. He's doing his thing. Because like I said, I had the chance to meet him at Fight Factory. And he's just a really cool person. He's a very cool person. And the fact, too, he was trained by Anthony Bowens. Because Anthony Bowens would always praise Casey Navarro. Obviously seeing his family there at ringside. That's his whole family there. Because, I mean, he's from Jersey. So, Philly has to be that close. He's from Jersey. So, but I think Casey's stock is really continuing. And I hope it's another person that TNA keeps in the long run. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning. Do you have Eddie Edwards winning? Or do you have Casey Navarro winning? Yeah, she's a tough chick. I'll tell you, she would do anything for her man. She would do anything. She took many bumps and hurdles. Hey, have all the respect in the world for her, even though sometimes she can be very evil. Ooh, nice move by Casey. It's kind of crazy with everything with the system. It's like they're terrorizing like everybody from Casey to Ricky Sosa to Leon Slater to Fabian Eichner. They're just terrorizing everybody. They're terrorizing everybody on that TNA roster. Oh, you know his wife was going to interfere because she's standing by her man. Oh yeah, Moose too. They terrorize Moose. Elisa is standing by her man. And with the fact too, next week she's facing off against Harley Hudson next week. And unfortunately, Daria Ray has her radar on Harley Hudson. So it's going to be very interesting. And I'm pretty sure Miss Daria Ray has some tricks up his sleeve. And I can't believe it's almost 10:30. Because after this, we got one more match. Ooh. I did see Casey with his shoulder. I'm hoping his shoulder's not out of socket. That's the one thing I'm hoping for. I hope it's not. But like I said, feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this. Do you have Casey Navarro or do you have Eddie Edwards winning the match? Because as I mentioned, we did see the systems. Brian Myers earlier were against Ricky Sosa, and Ricky Sosa picked up the victory. With some help from Leon Slater. He has, yep, his uncle, he talked about this on his social, where his uncle recently passed away a few months back. So he did say his uncle played a huge role in his influence in his life and also wrestling. So, but I'm just, oh, but looky. His wife is always a distractor. And she's distracting the referee. I can tell you, she is an evil woman. But she's a smart lady. She just had her boot. Man, Casey Navarro had it. Ooh, and the kendo stick. She hit Eddie Edwards with that kendo stick. I guess it backfired. Yep, and Casey Navarro got the victory. So congratulations to Casey Navarro. And like I said, she's a ride or die for her husband. But congratulations to Casey Navarro. But of course, there are members of the system. Brian Myers, Bear Bronson, taking out Casey Navarro. We know Cedric Alexander has some issues with Leon Slater. What's Brian Myers doing with that chair? Oh man, they're really gonna cripple. They're really gonna cripple him. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but yeah, they were about to cripple him. Oh man, they went after his neck. What's Eddie doing? Oh, Fabian Eichner, Jada Stone, Ricky Sosa. I feel like almost everybody in the roster has having issues with the system. Well, here comes Director of Authority, Santino Marella, and he's already tired of the system with their shenanigans the last couple weeks. Little Lockdown. Oh man, an lethal weapons match at Lockdown. So it's going to be all the members of the system, including Alyssa Edwards, taking on Jada Stone, Fabian Eichner, Casey Navarro, and Ricky Sosa. Oh man. Lockdown just got a lot more interesting, people. And I did say I'm doing a watch along for TNA Lockdown. Oh man. That's going to be fun. Well, of course, you know, the missus is irate because she has a match against Harley Hudson last week. So, up next, we have our main event. Yeah, because after this is our main event. And it's 10:30. Yes, War Games. This has actually been pretty fun so far. We're going to take one more break because AMC is known for their commercials. So we're going to take a quick few-minute break to rehydrate, get your beverage, get your popcorn, get everything ready because you do not want to leave your seat out of this main event. So we're going to take a quick commercial break because obviously we know AMC has a lot of commercials, and we will be back here shortly. try to put my headphones in, but yeah, the commercials are still going on. See, that's the one thing about having long commercials, because I can get up and do what I need to do. Shout out to Eddie Foster in the chat. I hope you're doing well. And everyone's getting ready for the weekend, because we are in the last few weeks of summer. Hard to believe we are in the last couple weeks, because I know Labor Day is where it unofficially ends summer, but it's hard to believe. Oh, they're showing next week's, a little preview for next week's Impact. So obviously, of course, we're going to have the finals between Heather by Elegance and Jada Stone. Harley Hudson taking on Elisa Edwards. Oh, an 8-man tag team match. I ain't telling you who won it, but it was a really good 8-man tag team match. Ain't telling you who it is, but they're showing a preview for next week. And Allie, she is still trying to find her mission on what happened with Rosemary. Where is she? Where is she? The struggle is real. Yeah, coming out to play. Interesting. That's an interesting puzzle. Yeah, now we don't know where Rosemary is. That's the question. Where is Rosemary? Where is she? Shout out to Ryan Armstrong Winterhawk. That's an interesting. Oh, yes, Rush is the alter. Thank you, Boza. Rush is the alter ego of Rosemary. So it looks like we'll see the alter ego come out at Lockdown. We do have a tail of the tape for the TNA World title. I can't believe they're using Jeff's theme song when he was an Immortal. That is crazy. I loved it when they brought it back in the Hardy compound, because when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, that's one of his TNA theme songs. And he sings on it too, by the way. Well, his first theme that he sang was Modest. I remember that theme song. And then this one, Another Me, is a theme song that Jeff did. So he could sing too. Jeff is a man of many things. Like, he could sing, he likes animals, he likes plants, he rides dirt bikes, he paints. He's just a man. He's just a jack of all trades. He's like, if he brings out that, oh God. Actually, he did. Jeffrey, he did. Look at the belt. I just can't believe he brought that at the Hardy compound. That is crazy. And you know what's crazy? The Hardys are just beloved by the fans. They're beloved by the fans. Shout out to Unlimited Production 1. TNA is getting there. TNA is getting there. I know some people don't have AMC, but definitely recommend it. Especially if you have cable. AMC is still on cable, whatever cable provider that you have. I know if you have YouTube TV, you can still have AMC, but yeah, that's something TNA needs to do, especially when they do pay-per-views, because I know they have the TNA Plus app, they have the AMC. I think they do it on the AMC Plus app, but they need to start expanding more on their pay-per-views, like with AEW, because obviously, of course, you have AEW has HBO Max, Prime. Nic Nemeth obviously doing a Shawn Michaels impersonation as the most wanted man. That championship with a curse. Hot girls love Nick. Oh, lordy. Well, he's thrusting his hips. That's why he calls himself the most wanted man. Yeah, but I think they need to figure out people. Well, there's Carlos Silva, who's the president of TNA. Yeah, we need to find out who could be challenger for Nic Nemeth after Lockdown. Oh boy. Well, someone hose her down, please. I don't know if they're gonna hose her down, but feel free to put in the chat who you guys got winning this match. Do you have Jeff winning this, or do you have Nic Nemeth retaining? As much as I would love. Oh, and here comes Miss Mackenzie, and looking fabulous as ever. I will tell you this: when I went to some of the live shows, the shows for Philly, I can't tell you how many people were truly Hardy Boys fans, because I was sitting next to somebody, and I was sitting next to somebody, and they were not familiar with the roster. They were just only familiar with the Hardys. So you can tell anywhere you go, the Hardys are going to be a draw. But for me, I like to support the whole roster, but I just find that funny because they were like, "Oh, we're just here for the Hardys. We're not here for the rest of the roster." And I said, "Okay." At least for me, I like to support everybody from the roster. And nice. And Ryan Armstrong, WrestleHawk. I did love the Dolph Ziggler reference, but you said Nic Nemeth retains. But like I said, feel free to put in the chat. Do you have Jeff winning or do you have Nic Nemeth winning? For me, as much as I would love to see Jeff win, I gotta go with Nic Nemeth retaining, only because like he just won it at Slammiversary, and I want to see him continue how he built his title reign. So I'm picking the most wanted man. Yes, I'm picking the most wanted man, Nic Nemeth. Oh, and there's another commercial. Oh, I don't like it when they go right to commercial. So yeah, we have a main event. It's 10:41. So hopefully there was no commercials after this. I just want to watch this match in peace. Jeff, do it for all the Jeffs. Do it for all the Jeffs. That's hilarious. Do it for all the Jeffs. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Do it for all the Jeffs. That's hilarious. Exactly. No matter what happens, it's always fun to enjoy. Also, because I'm going to forget all this. So, unfortunately, there's been a lot of news floating around in the entertainment world, because if you are familiar with the show from Nickelodeon back in the 90s, it is All That. They produced so many people from that show, from Keenan, Kel, Nick Cannon, Gabriel Iglesias, Danny Temporelli appeared, Amanda Bynes, so many people. But unfortunately, today they lost one of their cast members, Christy Knowings. She was in All That in season 4 up until season 6. She did do a lot of sketches with Amanda Bynes, and she did do a lot interacting with Keenan and Kel and everything else. And unfortunately, there was news of her passing today, which really sent a lot of shockwaves, because that was something I don't think anybody expected. But do send condolences to her friends, her families, her loved ones. I did see a lot of members from All That pay tribute to her, like Keenan and Kel, Josh, Danny. So many people pay tribute to her, especially in the Nick space, because even like some of them who started off as teenagers, they still talk to this day. Angelique Bates with tribute to her, but it's really just a sad and somber day. Yes, all that. But it's been a very somber day. Unfortunately, she passed away. She was only 42 when she passed away. So definitely want to send condolences. But yeah, she is. But definitely, so let's see. Oh yes, Rey Mysterio's daughter, because I know she's been training in the PC. She's been doing really well and trying to make a name for herself. So good for her. And we do see her brother, Dirty Dom. I just kind of wish he was in the world title picture. I don't know why he's with Danhausen, but that's a whole different conversation. Oh, they're showing the commercials for the next set of movies. Sci-Fi Saturday starts at 2:30 p.m. So they'll be showing Independence Day, iRobot, along with many other movies for sci-fi. But here we go. We have the TNA World Championship match. We have Jeff Hardy taking on Nic Nemeth. One-on-one. A fact, Nic Nemeth has not beaten Jeff Hardy. He has not had a pinfall victory over Jeff. So we shall see on that. But TNA not Lockdown. I'm not gonna lie, the card looks pretty solid, and definitely want to see some of the matches. Obviously, of course, Nic Nemeth is but here we go. These guys are going to toe at it, and it is the main event. We have 15 minutes left of TNA Impact, and also if you're watching AMC, because I know they got so many movies on, make sure to check out John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. That's the next movie. It's wearing Will the Wisp. That's one of Jeff's early characters when he was a kid. Will the Wisp. And also, it's crazy. I have their autobiographies to inspire. I want to finish reading that book because it's very fascinating from hearing both Matt and Jeff's sides, especially growing up as kids, losing their mom at a young age, their dad being a single parent, trying to do everything they can to help out the boys, their early years in wrestling. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking out that book. That you can tell that's how long I've been a fan of the Hardys. Look at Nic Nemeth. Nic Nemeth, it's not the time to do posing. Your title's on the line, sir. Oh no, he's pulling out poor Jeff's eyes. Never forget. Oh my god. Jeffrey, why are you gonna bring up the dog? Seriously, why do you have to bring up Jack? Why did you have to bring up Jack? Well, here comes Jeff. I guess Jeff Hardy's taking Nic Nemeth on the 4 turnbuckles of the ring around the rosy. It was on my. Oh God! Don't bring up Jack. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk about what happened with Jack. That's very hard to swallow. We're not bringing up Jack. But I will say, when I was watching this match, the fans were really on their feet for this match. So much excitement in this match. But as I mentioned, I do want to thank everybody for joining with me on this watch along for TNA Impact. It has been fun doing this mini series for the TNA Knockouts TV Championship. And I think we're going to continue this because we did not know what we were going to get with TNA with this traction. But you guys, the chat, and everybody else has been so interactive. We're going to keep continuing these watch-alongs for TNA because they're definitely fun. I'm really grateful for this. We're definitely going to... Did turn on Jeff. Oh, yes. I remember him turning on his brother. I remember the times that he turned on his brother. How can I not forget? And it's funny, it's always the big brother that turns first on his little brother. What's Jeff gonna do here? Jeff's just juking and jiving. It's just like, you knew you were doing the juking and jiving of the Hardys. But both of these guys are really gonna bring it. Oh, look, another commercial. Another commercial for AMC, especially on the main event. We only have 10 minutes left. Thankfully, when I was there live, there was no commercials. Another commercial. I don't know. Go ask TNA why they put on so many commercials. We have 10 minutes. I know, we have 10 minutes. I'm just looking at the stuff on socials right now. But it's been really fun doing these watch alongs. But I think we're going to continue them after the TNA Knockouts tournament has been done. I think it's been great. It's been fun so far. We're just getting started with everything else. Like I said, it's been fun. Last night, did a watch on for AEW, which I will say, it was nice to see a reunion of Jericho and Big Show again. That was just a wholesome moment. And it just sucks because I don't know if Big Show can pack a punch. I just would have loved to see Big Show punch Don Callis last night on Dynamite. That just would have been fun to watch for me because I know he didn't like to see his friend Chris Jericho get attacked. But that just would have been funny for me if Big Show would have punched Don Callis in the face. I think everybody wants to see him get punched in the face, and that would be the biggest pop we would have in AEW for a while. I'm just waiting for that to happen because I know Jon Moxley hit Don Callis in the head in the early years of AEW. Kenny Omega tried to attack Don Callis, but that didn't happen. So Don Callis is going to get what's coming to him, that bald-headed peanut jerk. He's going to get what's coming to him. It's just a matter of time and patience. And I'm just waiting for these commercials to end because these commercials. It's only 10:52. See, it's a good thing when I watched it live, I didn't have to deal with commercials. I just watched the match all through. Yeah, they need to... that's the one thing with... I don't know whose idea was it, either if it was an AMC decision or a TNA decision, but we don't need all these commercials. Well, we need some commercials, but not a lot of commercials. Chewy. I have a Chewy commercial, which I actually do love the Chewy commercials because they look really fun. They look very, very fun. The Chewy commercials. But I'm like Tom Petty. The waiting is the hardest part. Oh, it looks like they have a new original in TNA, The Terror. Okay, so we're back with TNA Impact. We have a TNA World title. We have Nic Nemeth taking on Jeff Hardy. Oh, Lordy. I know one thing. Nic Nemeth needs to stop thrusting his hips and focus on the match. We know you have a great body, sir. We know you have a great body. Yeah, I know exactly. I'm like, we don't need to see you thrusting your hips. We just need to see you be in the match. But Jeff is holding on. That's the one thing I like about Jeff. He's always, even though sometimes he can be a bit crazy, he always shows resilience and doesn't want to quit. That's the one thing I think people love about Jeff. Is like, he just goes. And then, see, I can tell you this, when I was there live, almost everywhere you saw a Hardy's t-shirt, even like when you go back to when they first started in the Attitude Era, like, that tells you how long fans have been there. Like when they had the Team Extreme t-shirts, when Jeff was on his solo run in 2002. Oh my God, like all the shirts throughout the years. I don't think Nick, I don't know about that. Maybe he wants to have children, but that's going to be hard to do. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, quick kick out by Nic Nemeth. So I have a funny story I have to share. And this was on, I think this was on the Heavyweights podcast, because I follow him because I know he did radio for a bit and he interviewed. And he posted a video. He interviewed Darby Allin. And he asked Darby Allin if he wanted to have kids. And I think Darby Allin kind of hinted that he would like to be a dad in the future. But people thought that combination, Darby Allin being a dad, oh my. That would be fascinating. That would be fascinating. But I just thought that was really funny. Since Jeffrey, you brought up that comment, I had to bring up that one with Darby Allin. Because, I mean, could you imagine Darby Allin being a dad? He probably would be a good dad. Give his parents grandchildren. Quick kick about Jeff. You might want to slow down if you want to have kids. Well, yeah, that was something he said in the interviews. I was like, hey. And then look, Nic Nemeth is just taunting poor Jeffrey. Ooh, that was a nice power bomb. Quick kick out by Nic Nemeth. Is this a 5-star match? Well, I would probably say a 4, only because if they didn't have a lot of commercials, I would have said a 5-star match. But this is a pretty good back and forth match. And I will say, even when I was there, everybody was on their feet. It was a really good match. Yep, Jeff had to slow down. Quick kick out by Jeff. Ooh, he was this close on getting the title too. And he had his hand on the ropes too. I would have told you this. If Jeff would have won tonight, the crowd would literally be on their feet. I would have been jumping up and down like a little kid. Oh, yes, he can. Jeff can still go. It's crazy to believe he's in his 40s and he can still go. And he has kids of his own, which is insanity. Could you imagine Yeah, it would have been one of the moments of the year. But could you imagine, like, being Jeff's kid, Jeff taking off his shirt? Swanton Bomb! You know what that means? Swanton Bomb! And it's crazy, he's a dad too. Could you imagine, like, if your dad was Jeff Hardy and just seeing all the cool stuff he did throughout the years? Could you imagine him being your dad? Ooh, kick out by Jeff. It's just crazy. Look at that replay. Swanton Bomb. I know, exactly. It looks just like him. And it's crazy. He's been with his wife, Beth, for more than 20 years, which is crazy. Because he talked about that in the Exist to Inspire. 3, but your winner and still TNA World Champion is Nic Nemeth. Jeff Metterling, I would tell you this, but very rarely TNA ever does an overrun. Very rarely they ever do an overrun. But he is still the TNA World Champion. I guess they're trying to build a repertoire for Nic Nemeth for his title because he defended against Casey Navarro. He beat a former TNA World Champion, Jeff Hardy. So I guess they're trying to build up his repertoire a bit, which makes a lot of sense. Gonna be very curious on what's next for the TNA World title because I think they need to start building some contenders for him. Yep, no interference from baby brother. And we didn't get to see big brother Matt either. Oh, lordy, and he's still thrusting his hips. He is still thrusting his hips. But that ends TNA Impact with me, your PR princess, your timeless elite. I am happy to be with you for Thursday night TNA Impact. Man, we kicked off with Ricky Sosa taking on the System's Brian Myers. It was a very good match. I know the System has been making a terror of everybody from the TNA roster, but I'm happy to see Ricky Sosa really getting his lick in and being one of the true rising stars. And also he had some help because, of course, he had to deal with Bear Bronson outside the ring, but thankfully Leon Slater came out. And then, of course, we did see Leon Slater put out the gauntlet Cedric Alexander. So it looks like it could be official at Lockdown because pretty much if Leon wins, he's the X Division champion. But if Cedric Alexander wins, Leon Slater has to remove himself from the records in the X Division championship, which is bizarre. I don't know who made that stipulation, but it seems very weird. Also, we had a 6-man tag team match. We had Order 4, the remaining members of Order 4. They took on BDE, Rich Swann, and a returning Trey Miguel, which had the crowd on their feet. It was a very good match in the 6-man tag team match. Very, very good. Rich Swann, BDE, and Trey Miguel got the victory. But of course, they had to pay for the last laugh because of interference from Order 4. But Jason Hotch came in, and this match between Hotch and Mustafa Ali just got personal. I'm very looking forward to this match. I feel like this is going to be one of the highlights for TNA Lockdown and really trying to amplify some of the stars, future stars of TNA. We also continue the TNA Knockouts TV tournament where we have one of the semifinal matches, Indi Hartwell taking on M by Elegance. Surprisingly enough, M by Elegance picked up the victory over Indi Hartwell, and she will be facing either her sister, Heather by Elegance, or Jada Stone. So all this is happening, and we're one step closer from an inaugural Knockout TV champion. So exciting things all around. We also did find out next week Harley Hudson will be facing off against Lisa Edwards from the System because Daria Ray has it out for her and wants to terminate her contract. But Harley Hudson is ready to prove that she can be a fitting and an important player in the Knockouts division. So we'll see her in action next week. We got to introduce a funny segment called Face of the Franchise with Moose, which I thought that was really hilarious because he started dressing as Frankie Kazarian, and it was definitely a good segment all around. Also, with the fact too, it kind of hyped up Moose and Frankie Kazarian's match. Obviously, Frankie Kazarian came out and he was not too pleased, and of course, his big fat mouth got him on the wrong end of the stick because this match has definitely became personal. We also got to see a little preview of Elijah and AJ Francis, where AJ Francis got locked inside a recording studio, so their match is definitely going to be amplifying a little bit. Also, we did, as I mentioned, we did have the system. Oh, excuse me. We had the systems. Eddie Edwards take on Casey Navarro. Of course, you had Elisa Edwards, who has her share, and you knew she was going to do any tricks in the book. But thankfully, it backfired, and Casey Navarro got the victory. But unfortunately, he paid the price with the system, and that's why we had Fabian Eichner, Jada Stone, and Ricky Sosa came out. And we will be having a lethal lockdown match at TNA Lockdown. Jada Stone, Casey Navarro, Ricky Sosa, and Fabian Eichner taking on, with the exception of Cedric Alexander, the Systems, Brian Myers, Bear Bronson, Eddie Edwards, and Elisa Edwards. So anything goes. And it's going to be very interesting on that. So get ready, folks. And also, we had our main event, the TNA World title. Nic Nemeth taking on Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is a former TNA World Champion. Nic Nemeth has never pinned Jeff Hardy. So that would be a good enough for him. I mean, if there wasn't a lot of commercials, it would have been a good match. But I had the chance to see it live. It was a really good match. I got to see it live in person. It was a really good match between both of them. Very happy I got to be there in person. But your winner and still champion is Nic Nemeth. I think they're really trying to continue Nic Nemeth's repertoire of his title defenses, because so far he defeated Casey Navarro and now Jeff Hardy. So just continuing that repertoire as TNA World Champion. So that's all I could do. And it's really getting everybody ready for TNA Lockdown, which is next Saturday. Oh my God. Crazy that it's next Sunday. Actually, yeah, next Sunday, not Saturday, Sunday. But I'm really happy to spend time with all of you for TNA Thursday Night Impact. Thank you all for joining with me. I know Thursdays can get a little crazy because I have my siblings over at the Kayfabe podcast. I'm doing TNA, but we try to make sure we put out a lot of content for you. So I want to thank all of you for being on this chat, because I will say when I first started this, I was a little bit concerned because I wasn't sure if we were going to get a lot of traction, but we did. So I do want to thank everyone for being a part of this, from Boza to Jeffrey to Jeff Minnerling to Aaron Teagle. Honey stopped in for a bit. Do you want to give a shout out to that? Also, Eddie Foster came in, Ryan Armstrong, Winterhawk, everybody that came into the chat. Thank you. And we're going to show a lot of love to TNA because they got a Knockouts division. And like I said, with everything that's been happening, releases and everything else, they do have some good product. They just need to work on a few things because we want them to succeed. We want them to gain a lot of revenue so they could sign long-term contracts. But that's another conversation for another day. I know tomorrow I will not be on for WWT Live. I will be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday for WWT Live, but I will be out tomorrow. Not sure who's going to take care of it, but just to let you know, there will be a Honey Night SmackDown tomorrow. You get to hang with Honey on Friday, so she will be giving you the rundown on everything for 2 hours of SmackDown. So thank you all for hanging out with me on Thursday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay cool, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of fluids, because even though it is a little bit of a humid and heat wave, it'll be cooler in the next couple days. So make sure to enjoy these last couple weeks of summer. And thank you to everyone for continuing and supporting Women's Wrestling Talk. And also, you know where to find me. You know where to find me on my socials. I'm just doing content as I can. I'm just doing content as much as I can. Also, please make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling because they'll be back in Wildwood next Thursday. So they're doing a lot of good things. Also, make sure to vote for me because I'm running for SSPW's commissioner for their women's division. Please make sure to vote. Vote. It is on their Facebook page for SSPW. You do not want to miss it. And I am very truly honored to be in the long run. So please vote. I mean, I'm up against two powerhouses in wrestling, but I know I'm not a person that's not afraid to get her hands dirty, but I got this. So do want to thank everybody. You guys know where to find me. And thank you all for supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one. That's what I said. The number one women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great weekend. I will see you back on Monday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.